Can you hear my voice?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, thank you. Heat pump technology is not longer just alternative, but a crucial part of national and energy efficiency strategy. Regulatory support and cross-sectoral collaboration, of course, it will accelerate their adoption in industrial and building sectors. But not like in Europe or New Zealand, explained by Glenn, and also in Australia, explained by Rachel, that implementation for heat pump is not, it's very rare if you are talking about in residential, but of course dominate installation in industrial sector and commercial building. Even in commercial building, it's still few implementation for heat pump technology. And let me just start from the commercial sector that actually right now the driven for energy efficiency is driven by the regulation of green building. It's become mandatory, especially for governmental building. And also talking about industrial sector, the opportunities that there are a lot of program related with green industry in Indonesia. And of course, population heat pump in Indonesia, it's a high capacity system, not the small capacity. That I just interested to be here to get the figure for small size of heat pump. Next, please. Next, please. Yeah. Yeah, this is the market size and sorry, back one slide. Yeah, this is the market size and share sources. So the current product, it's dominated by Daikin, Mitsubishi Electric, Panasonic, Fujitsu, and Johnson Control. And in 2020, this is I just collected from many different resources, many different reference. The potential for Indonesian market is 2025 is about 1.34 billion, and we expected that 2030 it's can almost double, 1.85 billions dollars. And then if we see the market share by the type is of course dominated by air sources, not the ground sources, or combined between water and ground sources, but dominated by air sources. And market share by installation, it's for new building rather than retrofit and replacement. But hopefully with the different regulation, it will be retrofit and replacement for the building. It's will be another opportunity. So this study is actually from 2019 up to 2030, and this year is 2024. Next, please. Talking about the energy conservation regulation is actually based on government building number 33 2023. And of course, if we look at the industrial sector, the currently actually the energy consumption is dominated by industrial sector. And you may see that the share of energy demand for this sector, industry sector, is almost 50%. It's like a 45.6%, and then followed by transportation sector. Yeah, actually, 3-4 years ago is dominated by transportation, but now industrial is leading, and then building is at 16.8%. It sum with household sector and commercial. So household it's like 12.4%, and commercial is at 4.4%. Even the commercial building is very low, 4.4. If we look at the growth rate for the building sector in Indonesia, is I think more than double compared with the global growth rate of the area, the growth rate area for the buildings. And of course, household also the potential. For example, since the Ministry of Public Work that during starting from 2015 is actually accelerating for low income housing. It's about 1 million house every years, and then now actually even the new government it's triple targeted, so it's about 3 billion housing every years. And of course the potential heat pump in Indonesia is, I think, will be also very high in residential. Next, please. So this is the base for energy conservation regulation. Of course, it will be related with energy conservation implementation. It's not only downstream but also upstream, started from management and downstream management, and then conducting the energy conservation is there will be several regulatory ministry regulation. It's supposed to be like 6 or 7 more technical and so on, and then obligation to carry out energy conservation for downstream side, and then also parties that conduct periodic energy audit. Energy conservation financing now it's also becoming attention for the government. And then business development, ESCO model, and so on is also part of the regulation. And then cooperation on the field energy conservation. I think many international funding right now is supporting the government regulation, and of course facilities, incentive, and disincentive also part of important regulation. Next, please. Yeah, talking about energy efficiency financing task force and also energy saving insurance. Right now, it's very new regulation, and the purpose is coordinate stakeholder to improve access for financing. And I myself also involved in preparing matchmaking between financing scheme and also industrial who need energy efficiency, who need financing, and so on. Actually, it's so-called ESCO incubators. It's under Ministry of Energy and Minerals in Indonesia. And then energy saving insurance is also another concept that it's still trying for different pilot project in Indonesia, especially for industries and buildings. Next, please. So market-based instrument, MBIs, of course, we expected that up to 20 years, green energy investment exceeding more than 30 trillion in rupiah, and applies for pioneer sectors, including renewable HVAC. But unfortunately, a specific program related with heat pump is not really stated on different type of regulation. Tax allowance, like a 30% deduction of a 6-year investment in tangible fixed asset, included accelerated depreciations, withholding tax 10% for foreign investor, and yeah, especially for the special economic or the new capital IKN, because especially designing for the building in new capital city is have to fulfill the requirement for green building, and also related industrial will be comply to green industry and so on. It's like a data center, like another supporting industry there. And then carbon tax relief, I think this is hopefully heat pump can be part of this mechanism. Carbon credit monetization, so this is also because of related with program of related with the environment, cap and trade by cell emission allowance, and then support net zero emission goals 2060. And then VAT import duty exemption, it's also can be implemented for heat pump. And then green bond and JETP funding, I think right now is the biggest funding. It's collected together in Just Energy Transition Partnership, what we call it JETP, and now many project and also pilot is funded by this mechanism. Next, please. So the opportunities and recent positive, of course, the growing use beyond traditional HVAC and government efficiency policies, rapid urbanization and new construction. You may see that the CAGR is positive, 2.3, 1.7, 1.3. And then geographical relevance is, of course, national urban centers, national major cities, Jakarta, Surabaya, Bandung, Medan, and so on. And of course, target for green building by Ministry of Public Works is actually right now not only in big cities, but also will cover in village in many cities in Indonesia. So there is MOU between cross-sectoral ministry of Energy Mineral Resources, Ministry of Public Work, and also Ministry of Administrative National. And then growing the use of heat pump beyond traditional heating and cooling. I think it's even if you are talking about residential, it will be appropriate to be implemented in medium and high income for the society. And then implementation of government policies and initiative promote energy efficiency system, especially for HVAC. It will be related with specific buildings like hospital, like hotels, and so on, but not in the office, because there is no heating requirement. We need cooling. So rapid urbanization, of course, especially when special target special area that there is complex or provided by the government. Next, please. So challenge and key barriers limiting heat pump deployment, of course, the installation complexity and cost, investment costs. I don't think that ground source technology is more appropriate and very expensive. Currently, as I know, in Indonesia is only air resources heat pump is implemented, and especially in hotels. Limited public awareness, and then I think I will include some case study in the last presentation, and then technician shortage and slow training throughput. Even, for example, seminar or FGD in Indonesia talking about heat pump is already conducted many times. Next, please. Heat pump application. So, this is especially implemented in industry and building. So, like a terminal reheat, and then domestic water heat, dehumidification. For example, many hospital that will be certified for green building, I think it's very appropriate to use heat pump because high humidity. We can use dehumidification for heat pump. Also, our project, it will be approved by the owner because this is new technology. It's not easy to convince the building owner to buy new technology. Recent industry development, like for example, Daikin, and also another brands is actually already prepare with new refrigerant, for example, R32 and so on. Next, please. This is the last slide is actually some example for heat pump. This is installed in Bali, and this is air source heat pump with the capacity of 30 kilowatt in one of hotel, Movenpick Hotel in Bali. Then next, please. This is also in Bali. This is the small size modular air sources heat pump, 80 kilowatt in Hyatt Sanur Bali. The total capacity is 80 kilowatt. And then also still in Bali, in Andas Hyatt Hotel, is also air source heat pump. Then the last example is it is next, please. I think it. Oh yeah, this is installed in Central Java. And next, please, one. The last two technologies, actually, this is in small hotel in Central Java, and I think this is the it's relatively new. I think last year or this year it's installed. With you may see that the replacing boiler with the messy condition and very neat, very big size, and if you replace with the heat pump, it's only small, only maybe 1/4 area you need it for installation. I think that's all from my presentation, and back to Rehema. Thank you very much.